information for writers and volunteers. So I just want to say hi, my name is Stacy McGrath. I'm the Pan Ohio Hope Ride event chair. And I just want to start with a quick round of introductions and a little bit of housekeeping. So first and foremost, any registered writer that attends tonight does get a couple of incentive points for attending. So if you have anything on your Zoom other than your actual name, if you could please send a message either in the chat or directly to Kristen Hudson so she can make sure we get a count of you for attendance, that's good. It's also good to let her know if there are more than one people. I know sometimes like Daryl and I here are both logged in on one Zoom account. So if you could just shoot Kristen a quick note to make sure that she's got you accounted for. We're also going to have a raffle at the end of tonight's presentation for 5 extra incentive points. And we have a couple of extra bonus raffles along the way for some swag items. If you are brand new to the Pan Ohio Hope Ride family this evening, whether you're just getting some information, maybe interested in riding with us or volunteering with us. Also, if you could please let Kristen know that you're new and let her know who invited you here tonight. We do have one of our raffles set aside especially for someone new to us tonight. And anyone who invited a guest tonight will get an extra entry in that raffle for incentive points. So with that, I would ask that you keep your mics muted for now. We're going to have some time for interaction later. At any time during the evening, if you want to ask a question or make a comment or something, please feel free to use the chat. We want this to feel interactive. So drop your questions and comments in the chat. We're going to have some open time for you to come off mute and ask some questions later. But with that, we just want to start things off tonight with a little video. One of our executive leadership members, Matt Nickerson, who is the co-chair of our awesome STAG group, made a really fun video this year. So we're gonna officially kick off with that video tonight. Not getting the sound on that.
So before you share the video, you got to go in and click to show or to share video audio.
Yeah, we're going to start over.
Yeah. Tech support here. There'll be like a little box at the bottom as soon as you hit share screen before you actually share.
She's nodding. All right. Woo! to Matt Nicholson for capturing some of that awesome footage of everyone coming in at the finish line there. That's fun to watch in the aerial view. Those of you that were there, hopefully you enjoyed that. Those of you that weren't there, hopefully that gives you a little bit of a taste of what the Pan Ohio Hope Ride feels like. We're looking forward to, I was glad we were able to get together in person this past year. After a year of not seeing everyone, it was wonderful to see everyone's faces. But I'm also really glad that we're planning toward a more traditional traveling Pan Ohio Hope Ride for 2022. For those of you that are new, we are going to be holding a series of enrichment series calls like this on the fourth Tuesday of each month. Usually we'll have a panel of Pan Ohio participants, volunteers, riders who have some area of expertise, and we'll have a lot of questions and answers with them. If you missed last year's series, those recordings are all available on our website. But we want to kick all of our meetings off with hearing from some of you as well. So we're going to be featuring a series of riders and volunteers to come share why they ride, why they support Pan Ohio, why they come year after year, and what this event means to them. So I'm really excited to share our kickoff participant tonight, who's really probably the most appropriate person to speak at our kickoff event. We sort of did a soft launch of our website this year. We usually launch it and then have our national pace setters who earn a free registration into the next year sort of go through and test the registration with their code. And then there was one rider that was so excited to look something up on Pan Ohio that he happened to notice that the site was open before we even got to that yet, and was literally the very first rider to register for this year's Pan Ohio Hope Ride. I believe it is his 10th year of that. Captain of Team Vaco, TCetra, and I'm really excited tonight to welcome the one, the only Eddie Chad to just tell us a little bit about why he rides Pan Ohio and what this event means to him. So take it away, Ed.
Thanks, Stacy. Yeah, it was. I was actually going back because we were down at a Cincinnati event, and they were bragging about how they raised $10,000, and I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, we just did 60,000. So I had to rub it in. And then I'm like, I wonder what our total was. And I go on there and it's like, oh, the new one's up yet. I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's registered. Hey, who gets that number 1 or 2 bib number? That's popped in my head. So anyway, yeah, my name's Eddie Chad. Team Vaco, I know a lot of you, and welcome to all the new people. Really what started for me was probably about 11 years, 10 and a half, 11 years ago. I was riding with a small group, and I was living up in Cleveland then. And we were doing for people, you'll know this, the Pedal to the Point. It's a ride that we did year after year for multiple sclerosis. And after doing that 2 days for years and years, I'm like, you know what, let's try to, let's find a new ride. And I was with actually fellow Pan Ohio people, Ken Kleinhens and Steve Dodd. And Ken and I are like, all right, so we just hopped on the internet and started looking. I'm like, oh, what's this Pan Ohio thing? And I'm like, hey, it's 4 days. Let's do it. So we all signed up. Nobody like fathers or grandfathers had cancer at that time. And so yeah, we literally signed up for it, and it was not maybe a month later that I got a call from my dad and found out that he had cancer. So it was definitely gut wrenching. You know, for those who know my dad, cancer survivor. He's been at the finish line every year, and so yeah, so we jumped into it, and the first year we were just so impressed by 2 things. We were impressed, one, by the way everybody treated each other. It didn't matter what team you were on. It didn't matter if you were a fast rider or a slow rider, somebody in shape, somebody not in shape. If you drank beer, yeah, that was kind of a plus. But it was just the family, the friendship, and just almost like that family bond is how really what got us. We're just like, oh my gosh. Number 2 was logistics. I mean, I've been on some bigger rides and smaller rides, and just seeing the logistics that they had put in place for us to be able to go, you know, from Cleveland to Cincinnati just blew my mind. And so that was our first year. And then I mentioned Ken Kleinhens, and the next year we were like, all right, let's do it again. And then his father ended up getting cancer, and he's passed away from it. So it's been close to our heart every year. But the reason we keep coming back every year is now it's just because, one, I love going over that finish line and knowing why I'm riding. Two, I love seeing, and this is why we try to recruit for Team Vaco, any newbies, that I love seeing new people cross that finish line for the first time. I think it's just, there's no words to explain like the emotions that go through your mind when you finish it, that you have to experience. So, 10 years later, here we are, and I'm excited to be part of it again. And yeah, so thank you for everything you guys do, Kathleen, Stacy, Daryl, and everybody else, Sarah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Ed. Can I ask you one question?
Dennis and Sandy too. I see you there.
Favorite panel? I will say, first of all, some of my favorite Team Vaco memories are always that moment we get on the bus on Wednesday afternoon and Team Vaco's got the cooler in the back of the bus, and that really kicks off our weekend. So always appreciate you on that bus. Do you have a favorite memory from Pan Ohio over the years?
I had to pick one memory. Two of them. First one would be the first year, just finishing that, just getting over that line. This is something, it's a feeling you'll never forget. And then the second one was, oh my God, I'm gonna forget her name, of course, but she had a flask on the bus. Who was it, Stace? It was like this big.
Honey Badger Captain Julie Stevens.
Yes.
The largest, biggest flask you've ever seen. Julie Stevens.
It was filled with whiskey. Yes. I was like, oh my God.
We shouldn't talk about that on the recording. Probably.
I know.
It's cool.
But yeah, I mean, just finishing that going over the line. I think every year just hearing the stories of survivors, for people in Cleveland or Columbus, we have Peloton, you have Velo Sano. I think those are all phenomenal events as well, and they're definitely bigger. There's bigger crowds, but it's not the family that it is in the Pan Ohio. And especially for the new people on here, you do it your first year, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Ed. Thank you for sharing tonight. Appreciate you. Appreciate your team. Appreciate all the recruiting that you do, consistently bringing us new people year after year to join the family. Love it. We're going to talk a lot about bringing new people in this year. We've actually made some really exciting changes that we hope will make it easier for you to approach people and bring more new people into the Pan Ohio Hope Ride family this year. But before we get into that, I want to focus a little bit more on our mission as well. And Sarah Morris has some exciting updates for us about the Cleveland Hope Lodge progress and everything that's going on there that our funding is making possible. So Sarah, can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So since our ride, I've connected with Kara, who is our Hope Lodge manager in Cleveland, and she's so thankful for all our event did in 2021 and what we'll continue to do in 2022, helping directly fund the Cleveland Hope Lodge renovation project. And so she wants to keep us kind of in the loop on a lot of amazing things that are happening at the lodge. So we're going to try each enrichment series to share an update and any kind of information that we have. And we're hoping Kara will even join us as a panelist for one of our future enrichment series to be able to answer direct questions from us on what's happening at the lodge, perhaps interview patients and have them join us as well. So a lot of great things coming. The project, for those maybe that don't know or are newer, was helping renovate our current rooms that are at the lodge, as well as 11 brand new rooms, so the additions. They also looked at the dining and kitchen facilities and refurbished some of the common areas as well. And I do have some photos that I was able to receive from Kara, which is really great to show. So I'm going to pull these up as I continue sharing a little bit more info. So this is phase one of the project that she was just able to share with me this month of those common areas. Phase one included renovating the kitchen and dining room, They also renovated and expanded the administrative spaces. So it includes now a guest intake room and a conference room, which are wonderful additions. The lobby got a really wonderful refresh as well. And next will be the guest rooms. They'll be getting all brand new bathrooms, beds, TVs, fresh paint. They're also going to be installing new HVAC units for the rooms. So she's going to continue to share photos with us as the phases continue. So these are just a couple of those things that I just mentioned from phase 1. And they are very excited to be welcoming guests as of next month, reopening the lodge. And so that's wonderful news to hear as well. So a lot more to come throughout the series, but we wanted to make sure that we shared these very real up-to-date things as we get them from the Hope Lodge staff.
It's awesome. It's so good to see those. It looks beautiful. I've said this before, but I absolutely love, Ed mentioned a lot of the other rides that happen in our state that are phenomenal cancer charity rides, and they primarily support research dollars, which is hugely important, and ACS also supports a lot of research. And we know how critical that is for us to have a future world with no cancer. But I love the fact that our funds from the Pan-Ohio Hope Ride get to help those people that need help right now. Somebody that maybe just found out that they had cancer right now and needs to travel to get treatment. I can't even imagine what a tremendous burden and stress that would be. And I love, if you've never had a chance to visit the Hope Lodge, I hope that that can happen again over the coming years, if there's a way for that to safely happen as they reopen. It's so powerful and so moving to meet those people that are very directly, tangibly, and immediately benefiting from the work that we're doing. Yeah, it's really rewarding to me. I think that the rides for research are wonderful, and I love that, to create a future with no cancer. But I love that we get to help people right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing the progress of that over the coming year as they continue that renovation and expansion project, and looking forward to seeing guests be back at that Hope Lodge and knowing that we're helping give hope, that home right here in Ohio. Did you say this? It's like the second busiest Hope Lodge, and sometimes first. I think it kind of goes back and forth, sometimes sneaks ahead of Boston with the number of patients they have there. So this renovation is long overdue for them to be able to continue to allow patients to come travel to the world-class cancer treatment facilities that we have here in Ohio. So thank you. I love that. With that, I actually want to turn it over to Kristen for a quick break. We're going to pull our first raffle item for a piece of swag. So everybody will be in on this one. If you're here tonight, if you did not get a chance to reach out to Kristen and let her know if you've got someone else in your room with you, or if you have a Zoom name that's not your name, make sure you get that to her. But go ahead, Kristen.
Please. Thank you. I've heard from a lot, and I've reached out personally, with the exception of, I think by process of elimination, I know the POHR Elvis Santa. So I think I'm good with that one. But for our first swag item, Alyssa is going to get you from the Cleveland office a vintage Pan-Ohio shirt. You'll just need to connect with her for your size. And that is Vicki Metzger. So congratulations for our first raffle winner.
Woohoo! Congratulations, Vicki. Appreciate it. Yeah, I love Elvis is in the building. All right. Elvis Santa coming early. Love it. Thank you for that. So I do want to take a little time. And again, if you have questions about anything, feel free to drop them in the chat. Martin, I'm reading the chat. Someone just saw Martin come in. Currently our farthest away attendee. Love it. And also, yeah, Kathleen just dropped in the chat as well that there's going to be an open house at the Hope Lodge on November the 10th, if you're in the area. So that's awesome too, if you're able to check that out as they're getting prepared to reopen to visitors. Love it. But I want to share a little bit about some of the exciting changes that we have this year. I agree with what Eddie said before too, that one of the most rewarding things after the first year where you cross that finish line yourself and you have that amazing feeling, in subsequent years, one of the most fun things is seeing new people have that experience for the first time. And some of the feedback that we've heard is that there can be some barriers to people joining our event for the first time, whether they're intimidated by the distance or the registration fees or fundraising and all that. So we've made a few changes to our registration structure this year with the hopes that it'll make it easier for you to talk your friends into coming to join us this year so they can see what a great time we have. First of all, our 4-day rider registration rate has been simplified. Our early bird rate right now is $175, which is a little lower than it's been in the past. And we're going to keep it at that rate until December 31st. And then on January 1st, it's going to go up to $225, just one increase, and that's it. It will stay at that for the remainder of the season. So that kind of simplifies that instead of having multiple tiers. And if people hear about the ride later, it's more expensive. It'll kind of keep it even, whether people want to sign up soon or, not till a couple months before the event. But our biggest change is actually in trying to help us get more 1 and 2 day riders. I think a lot of people have not done the 1 or 2 day rides because the registration and the fundraising was kind of the same as for a 4-day rider. So we'd love to bring that down a little bit, encourage people, if they're not super strong cyclists, if they're intimidated by a 4-day event, or if they just don't know about the fundraising yet, they can kind of come give us a try. Because what we have found is if people have done 1 or 2 days in the past, almost always they have a blast and want to come back for more days in the following years. So for 2-day riders, flat fee, $100 of registration fee and a $750 fundraising minimum. And for a 1-day rider, a flat $50 registration fee and a $500 fundraising minimum. So hopefully that'll make it easier for you to talk to your friends who maybe just want to come do a day and encourage them to come join the Pan Ohio Hope Ride family. We also have the Create Your Own 328 option staying at a registration rate of $35. And there is no minimum of that. We suggest a goal of $328, but there's no minimum. And if people aren't riders, but they're volunteers or other supporters, or they just want to stay in the loop, we have a lot of volunteers who actually want to do fundraising as well. They put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and they're out there supporting the American Cancer Society and also want to have an opportunity to ask their friends and family members to make donations on their behalf. You can sign up as a Pan Ohio supporter at no charge with no minimum. So you can also sort of support the cause. At all of those levels, you get that same personal fundraising page. You'll be in the loop on all of our emails, on all of our events and everything going on. And you're eligible to earn all of our incentives as well. So we'll have way more information on those incentives later. But hopefully that registration structure will make it a little easier. If you have people that have never ridden the Pan Ohio Hope Ride, we also have something to sweeten the deal for brand new riders. If they are new to the Pan Ohio Hope Ride in 2022, have them email panohioinfo@cancer.org, and we have a special discount code for them for 50% off their first time Pan Ohio ride. So we really are excited about bringing some new people in and recognize that maybe that's been a barrier in the past. If you are a new rider, or if you know someone who has already signed up and did not know about that code, have them reach out as well. We can take care of them and either get them a refund of it or credit half of it to their fundraising and really kick off their fundraising as well. We also have some great programs coming up around the holidays to help people who maybe feel that registration fee is still a financial barrier to them. We're going to have our gifting registration site we launched last year. We're going to reopen that again, and we have some people already that are interested in making anonymous donations to registration gifts. So we're going to have a program where people can request some assistance with their registration if they need it. So sort of a scholarship program. We'll have more information about that coming out in November and in time to launch before Thanksgiving and into the holiday season. But if anyone feels like they have any hesitation about affording Pan Ohio, we don't want that to be the barrier. If they have any hesitation, have them reach out to staff or to me, and we can talk through what their options might be, so we can match them up with someone who wants to gift a registration for them. Does anyone have any questions? I should probably keep up with the chat over here.
So much going down in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back to Ed's thing in a minute. Yeah, Leanne, good point. Like the 1 and 2 rides are also a great way to get and stay involved if you can't take off work and maybe you only have the weekend free and you don't want to travel.
Martin's a fugitive from Canada right now.
Yay! I didn't even realize the borders were open. I don't think. Yay! Welcome to the US, Martin. Those of you that don't know Martin, he's one of our Canadian riders who comes in from Calgary each year, but has been unable to these past couple of years, unfortunately. So delighted to see you.
Stacy, you might have said this, I think I read it, that we can still, if we are not sure about next year, we can register as a Create Your Own, and then we can always up it to the regular ride at any point for the 175. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Locking in your rate, we're going to do that again. We know there's still a lot of uncertainty. Maybe people don't know what they're doing next summer. Maybe we don't know what things are going to look like for you personally. But yeah, if you know that you are interested in being involved in some way, go ahead and sign up as Create Your Own 328. You could always do that. And if you sign up for that before December 31st, that will lock in that rate if you want to upgrade to 1 day for 50, 2 days for 100, or 4 days for 175 later. You'll just pay the difference from the 35 that you already paid. So yeah, certainly lock in your rate, get on all our emails, be in the know on everything going on, and you know, hopefully join us in person one way or another next summer. I do want to spend a little time too introducing some key people that have made all these changes happen. I really want to thank everyone again. We had phenomenal feedback on our survey this year. Like the response rate on our surveys is just incredible. And we couldn't do that without you. You know, we want this ride to be for you, for the riders and the volunteers and the supporters that make that happen every year. And with that, I'm really excited to make another announcement about our leadership team, that we've added some extra voices to the leadership team this year. So I just want to give a quick minute for all of the staff to say hello, and I want to introduce our executive leadership team. So let me start with the staff. Those of you that don't know, the Pan Ohio Hope Ride is put together through a combination of American Cancer Society staff members and an executive planning committee. So I want to introduce our staff members. We have 3 in the state of Ohio, and then our manager in Chicago. I'll just start north to south here. In the Cleveland market, we have Alyssa Hancock. You want to say hi, Alyssa?
Hi, I'm excited to work with you all this year. It's going to be really exciting the way we're switching things up to work with everyone. So, but if you are in the Cleveland area and you need anything, feel free to reach out and I can meet you wherever you need to.
Right on. In the Central Ohio market, Kristen Hudson.
Hey everyone, it's a pleasure to see you guys. I'm excited for this year. As Alyssa mentioned, we're all working together, but we do have different specializations. So I will make the plug that I'm going to be working on communications and social media. So if you have a fundraiser coming up, or if you would like to be a featured writer, anything content-wise, please send it my way. I'd be happy to work with you to get that shared. And to that end, Eddie shared a fundraiser in the chat this week. I believe it's, or no. What, Eddie, what
Next
date
month.
is it?
November 9th.
November 9th.
Nice. Ben Blankera is going to be a guest bartender, and he put the link to the event in the chat, and we also shared it on the social media on our page as well. So anytime something like that comes around, send it our way so we can share it out with the group. And we want to help you be a successful. Thank you guys so much.
All right. And then down in Southern Ohio, Sarah Morris.
Hi, everyone. So this is my 6th Pan Ohio Hope Ride, which seems crazy. The years are flying. It's such a great time. So great to see all of you. I'm located in Dayton, Ohio. So like Stacy said, anything in the southern part of the state, if you need assistance, please reach out. I'm so thankful. Kristen, Alyssa, and I have been a strong team the last 3 years. So we're here to help in any way possible. But thank you all for joining us, and so excited for 2022.
Right. And then I also want to introduce their manager, who's in the North Central region out of our Chicago office, Chris Bolt. You're muted.
How does this work now? Got it. Okay. All right. It's Zoom. Zoom always conflicts with the computer. There's always the double one. So I have to be careful about that. So hi, everybody. I'm Chris. I am specialty is knowing when I'm on mute and not on mute. Apparently is clearly one of them. But I've been with ACS for, it'll be 11 years in February. This is my second time going. I've been through 2 Pan Ohio seasons, 1 virtual, 1 Cloverleaf, and then now we're going into a traveling. So I'm really excited to see what happens after this year. So because every year it's been different, but it's been a true privilege getting to know many of you from a distance. I absolutely loved being around the entire Pan Ohio family back in July, and I'm just really excited to get the full Pan Ohio experience this summer.
Thank you. We're delighted to have you and your experience on our team. So as Steph mentioned, they are doing things a little bit differently this year. Instead of each being just solely responsible for their market, they're really, we're taking what we learned that was the good out of the pandemic year, which was everyone working together on the entire event, and everyone's really focusing on their specialties and their strengths, which is awesome to see the continuity that's going to bring to our event, even when we travel across the state. And with that, we've also added some additional members to our executive committee across the state. Again, not so much focused on any given region, but just to have more voices on topics across the state. So I think, Sarah, do you have a little graphic? So you can see everyone's pictures. I know not everyone could be here tonight. We want to just kind of see, I'm just going to introduce everyone. Really excited to welcome back to the executive committee, continuing on this year, Randy Hammonds, Sandy Wilcox, Tony Kellerman, Susie Lawrence, Matt Nickerson, myself and Daryl, who are all returning members, and Jeff Darple as well, who joined us as an out-of-state writer this past year. And then I'm really excited to welcome some fresh voices to the committee. Many of them longtime writers and volunteers, but Bill Wolahan, Lori Wolahan, Leanne Dennison, Brian Bortz. Am I missing anyone? Is that everyone? I guess that's everyone. I can't count. I should have counted. But we're really excited to have. Sarah, did I miss anyone? Okay, thank you. For some reason, I was expecting one more, but that should be 12 total. And we're really excited to have that awesome group of voices making decisions and really being the leaders of the dozens of people who have shown up this year for our statewide planning committee. So there's still room. If you are interested, we are holding our planning committee meetings on a statewide level through Zoom still. As we get into the spring and have more local things, we will break into some subcommittees locally and probably do some things in person. But right now, we love the continuity of having the whole state planning committee to get together. So really grateful for the 12 individuals for stepping up to lead the executive leadership committee, and to all of you who have come out for our planning committee meetings, hoping to see more. If you're interested in that, again, please email panohioinfo@cancer.org and we'll make sure to get you added to that, because we really want this event to be what the writers and volunteers and supporters want it to be. And you shaped this event with us. So thank you to all of you for showing up and putting in the time and the effort to make this the best it can be. I'm like super excited about 2022 being the best year it can be. And I think, with that, I want to just give a little time if anyone would like to share. I love seeing some sharing in the chat, but if anyone's interested in just sharing a quick story about what has you excited about 2022, you can either throw something in the chat or feel free to come off mute and share. Martin, are you coming back this year?
Hey, hi everyone. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm Martin from Canada. I know most of you here, so it's kind of cool to see you all. I'm actually down in your country right now. I'm out down in Moab. So I hope to be there. It's going to be tentative, as you know, Canada and the borders and this pandemic. I might be there. I hope to be there. If not, lots of love to you all, and if not, 2023 for sure.
We miss you.
I miss you more, Stacy.
Anyone else have something to share? What are you most excited about for this year? Oh, we have Canadian friends.
Canadian friends.
To my friends from Panorama right here with us.
Well, we did it in 2019, so I'm looking forward again to raising $1 million.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Woo!
Yes, that is my challenge to everyone this year. We want to get back to what Pan Ohio was before all this nonsense in the world. We want to get back to well over 300 riders on the road. We want to get back to traveling across the state of Ohio, and we want to get back to $1 million. And we need all of you. That's one of the reasons we hope to make this a little bit more accessible for recruiting new members this year, and also volunteers. Lori's joining us in particular to kind of help head up spearheading the volunteer effort for us. She's been an amazing 4-day volunteer for many, many years and heading up all the water stops for us. But going back to a traveling event means we need to go back to having hundreds of volunteers to support us. So as you talk to people, if they're not interested in riding, kick them on over to us as volunteers as well. And Lori will put them to work there.
Stacy, I would like to tell you why I keep coming back. It's because of all these people that I'm looking at right now. For the fun and adventure of just seeing them over the years now, I think it'll be my 12th year. It's been just like getting together with a family reunion with other people that I haven't seen for the last year, and it just warms the heart to see everyone. So, and I would like to make a proposal that we try to recruit more people in the age group from 20 to 40. And I think the changes you've already did have made, that's going to bring it out more people. Because in that age group, most people are married, raising a family, and they just don't have the funding. So we need to look at other ways that maybe we can co-sponsor some of these younger people coming in with, say, someone raises $5,000 where they could take and donate 5 or 10% of their proceeds to that younger rider coming in, that first time rider. So, because the bigger the pool, the more the attraction. That's all. So, but thank you and great seeing all of you.
Thank you, David. It's always so good to see you. I always loved your family coming out, David. You know, we talk about the Pan Ohio Hope Ride being a family, and you really made it a family experience. I loved the years that you and your son Jeremy and your grandson Corey all rode together and really made it a family at our family event. So yeah, maybe we need to get on Corey's radar and figure out what would help him come back and bring his friends in that age group.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Who else has thoughts to share? What are you excited about this year? And I do love that that idea of sharing some of the fundraising too. If you've met your goal, especially if you've hit Dynamo Club, can some of that other fundraising be gifted as well? But yeah, if you know people that would be interested in gifting registrations, again, we'll be launching that registration gifting program in November. So we'd love to see a huge pool of funds so that finances, personally out-of-pocket expenses are not an obstacle to anyone joining us that wants to.
It'll also be nice to be back to 4 days next year, and some of our new riders who, you know, I know that have been involved in the last couple of years haven't been able to experience our 4-day event, you know, that going all the way across the state. I think that'll be really nice for them. So that's something I'm looking forward to also.
Stacy, is there a way where if you have teams set up, and I know you can like give donations right to Team Vaco versus a specific individual, does that money just get divided? Could that money like just go to somebody that needs it? Like maybe a newer rider that didn't raise that money, or how could we do something like that?
Yeah, the captains can allocate it. And I think, you know, Sandy, would you mind speaking to that? If you don't mind, I hate to put you on, but you did an excellent job of that as the six-pack captain, of taking some team funds and spreading them around on our team.
Yes, so the money that is donated online just goes in a pool for the team. And as captain, you are able to reallocate those monies if you'd like. You just have to work with the Pan Ohio staff to make that happen.
Yeah, we can absolutely work with you on moving any funds, especially sometimes gifts are accidentally made on the event level. That happens a lot. You know, a donor might go to the website and donate just to the event. So if you, to kind of add on to what you were saying, Eddie, you know, maybe if someone tells you that they donated to you, but you don't see it on your page, it very well could have been a donation just made to the event. We can move those to your page. If you get funds to the team level, we can help move those donations. So definitely just connect with us. We are capable of doing that on the back end of the site. So wonderful ideas and great thinking there to help all of your teammates.
We were successful with that last year. Ted noticed that one of our riders who had been very committed early in the year had moved to Florida. We all knew that, but he was short of getting his Pan Ohio jersey. And so several of us took some of our funds, or we had funds that were donated to the team. And Ted was very good. He worked with the committee to get those moved over. So, and thank you, Ted. I assume Bill got his jersey. So
That's awesome.
They did.
Thank you. I love seeing the team spirit too. I think, Leanne's Team Mind Brain Social Club too is so amazing at once they've hit their goal, they push people to donate to their teammates so that everyone can succeed together. And I love that. We're going to actually have it's a good preview of next month's panel discussion where we're going to be talking about ways to get new people engaged and for team captains to help get their teams engaged and other strategies for people like that. So that's a good lead into that. And actually, I don't know if Brian is a mind reader or if he just read Daryl's lips, but Daryl actually just said to me, you should put in a plug for new riders to connect with Brian too. And literally right after he sent that, Brian dropped a link in the chat to the new rider Facebook group. So if you have new riders or people who are interested in joining, even if they're not signed up yet. Brian, you want to chat about that for a sec?
Sure. Yeah, I guess I'm a mind reader because I was thinking I should put that in there. Yeah, I created this group, I think in 2019 was the first time that we decided having a new rider group would be good. Just a place where people can come, and if they're unfamiliar with the ride, especially if they're unaffiliated with a team and don't have people to reach out to, they can join that group and ask all the questions they want. And I've got posts about fundraising and fitness and logistics and all kinds of things like that. And if you were a new rider in 2020 or 2021, please also feel free to join that group because 2022 you're essentially going to be a new rider again, going all the way across the state. And so, I want to be able to support everybody the best we can.
Thank you. That seems like a good segue into another raffle drawing specifically for anyone that's new tonight. Kristen, do you have those names for us?
All right, so new with us, it looks like we only have two, and if I am mistaken, please put it in the chat. We have Steve and Edie. Is there anyone else that is new before I draw? Okay. All right, Steve, you are going to get a Pan Ohio Hope Ride water bottle. We will connect and get you hooked up with the water bottle. And thank you so much for being here tonight. And we are very excited to have you with us.
Woo, thank you for that. And again, if there are people that are interested and they couldn't join us tonight, the recording will be sent out too. So feel free to send out the recording to other people that might have been interested but weren't able to join us tonight. They missed out on the raffles for not being here, but definitely would love to see some more new people get our information. Anyone else have any fun stories to share?
I just wanted to point out, I love this group and everything tremendously, but every year I keep saying, yeah, I gotta take a year off. I'm not gonna do it this year. And then I just keep doing it. So that's gotta say something. I'll be riding to Springfield going, why am I doing? But I just keep coming back. So it's all you guys. Thank you.
Can't quit this thing.
I can't. I'm trying, but I can't.
I was gonna be done after 10 personally, can't quit this thing.
Oh.
And it is. 100%.
I guess it's a good addiction if you're going to have an addiction.
Sure, sure. I'm excited about our series this year. If anyone's interested in being a panelist, we're going to have a range of topics about how to get involved, fundraising ideas, training tips, bike maintenance tips, rider safety, things like that. If there are any other topics you'd be interested in seeing, or if you'd be interested in serving as a panelist, or if you know someone who would make a great panelist for one of those, please also have them send an email or shoot an email to panohioinfo@cancer.org with that as well. And if you didn't get a chance to attend all last year's events, again, all those links are posted on the homepage. But we're excited to kind of continue and grow that series of resources for our riders as well. And if there's ever anything you feel like you don't have, if there's a resource that you wish you had, and you said, where can I find this? Or why don't I have an answer to that? Let us know. We're always trying to grow this library of resources for new and returning riders. So let us know what you need and how we can help you. Just want to reiterate again on the fundraising aspect. I know a lot of people and a lot of teams do individual fundraisers, and we want to make sure we can spread the news on that. So thank you, Ed, for sharing, Ben's fundraiser for Team Vaco at the Tech Takeover Tuesday coming up next month. We'll definitely post about that some more. If you have other things like that, like, first of all, I want to come to them if they're local or I can drive to them. And second, we want to share them so we can get a bunch of people out to them. Anyone else have anything coming up that they have planned already? All right, I know it's kind of early in the season and we're just getting kicked off, but our challenge to all of you, if you are here on this call tonight and you've not yet registered, I challenge you to get registered by the end of the week. What are you waiting for? Do it. And again, if you're not sure what you want to do, I appreciate Kathleen bringing up that registration rate lock-in. If you register for Create Your Own 328 and want to change your mind later, that'll lock in that lower rate for you. And if you could share that with at least one person. Yeah, that's a great idea. Add a little bit more on the medical side of things on, crashes, dehydration. He would be a great Anish. Dr. Anish would be a fantastic panelist. Appreciate that. But yeah, my challenge to each of you is to register if you've not already done so, and share about this with at least 2 other people this week. And let's see if we can really kick off the season, get our numbers up, and start heading toward that $1 million year in 2022. And again, if you're also interested in just sharing your story of why you ride, again, we want to hear from more riders, and we do plan on kicking off each session with a rider feature to share, what brought you to Pan Ohio, why you stay, why you ride, who you ride for. We always want to keep in mind, really glad, Ed, that your dad's a survivor. But we always want to celebrate the survivors. And, part of it for me, if you were at our recognition dinner celebration this past summer, you heard Jacob Heil talk about the experience that he got out of this and mourning his dad's death. And that really touched me, because I remember my first year of Pan Ohio was not too long after my dad had passed away of cancer. And you think you're doing this event to help other people, but it actually really helps you as well. So, it helped me so much through that grieving process to share that with this amazing community of people, sadly, many of whom knew exactly what I was going through, because far too many of us have gone through that. But then also seeing the stories of hope of the people that were on the other side of it and surviving, that create so much hope for the future of cancer as well. So want to keep them coming. Tell us your stories, share why you ride. Let's make this year the best ever. And with that, I think we're going to run one more raffle prize, and we're going to just kind of keep this call open if anyone wants to socialize or share on an ongoing basis. But I want to just turn it over to Kristen a little bit. I did mention this raffle is for some incentive points, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what those incentive points even mean a little bit, and then we can wrap up with that raffle and then just share some time together.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. So I know a lot of you are returning riders, but I just wanted to highlight our incentive point program. It is something that we launched new last year, and it did have good reviews. So we're bringing it back and making tweaks and trying to make it even better for the coming year. But we wanted to let you know that you can earn incentive points for participation, fundraising, things that you're doing throughout the year. And at 2 redemption point periods, one after our 328 day, March 28th, and then one after the event season, we have a Pan Ohio store, and it has specific items that you can redeem the points for. So this year, for example, we had beanie hats, a Yeti, if you had to see that, the Yeti coffee mug with the famous POHR Yeti etched into it. We had jackets, rain jackets, things, some really popular items that we've had in the past, bringing them back, and some brand new items that, were a thing that we could earn this year. So everyone who attended, I took attendance here. You got 2 points for attending tonight. I'm going to do a raffle drawing for 5 additional incentive points. The other thing that is active right now is our fall fundraising challenge. If you raise $500 from event launch through January 2nd, you get 15 incentive program points. And then, we are going to be releasing within the next week or so the 2022 program flyer with all of the ways that you can earn points listed on there. And if you ever have any questions about that, you can reach out to us. And to sweeten the deal, in addition to 5 additional incentive points, you also are going to get a blue fleece POHR blanket sent to you. We wanted to make sure this was a great kickoff. Everyone is back in here for this drawing, and the winner is Bill Parabano. Congratulations. You're going to receive 7 total points, 2 for attending, 5 for winning, and then Alyssa from the Cleveland office is going to send you a blanket. So well done.
I believe at the beginning of this call, the first thing Bill said was he wishes the weather were a little nicer. So now we'll keep you cozy, Bill. Happy birthday.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, like I said, that's all of our